What? I'm not through with you yet. I'm putting you. Oh, look at that. It's little friends. Let's watch the sign together, shall we? No! It's game over for both of you. No. Just for me. I'm bad. And that's good. I'll never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me. Why are you going into the no, go into the What? Squatch. Welcome to 13th September 2023. Every time I start to do this, I think I don't want to do this anymore. And I do it anyway. Because what the hell, why not? Okay. We're going to present a share screen. Make sure that that's actually going to work for once. Because, yeah, it would be nice. It's not working. Motherfucker. Let's try this. Well, it's failing less now. So we're going to go with it. Good afternoon, everybody. So I only have really one subject on the screen. But, well, actually, we're going to skip to a late breaking subject first. University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill on a lockdown after a gun-related incident. All right. This was not a shooting this time. A man who had worked at the coffee shop, which is not really part of the campus, right? Yes, it's on the campus, but it's a completely separate legal entity. Basically, they're just renting space there, all right? And they sell coffee. That's great. That's wonderful, right? Well, back in January, I think it was, he'd been fired. Why? I don't know. I don't care. But he had a outstanding warrant for his arrest related to whatever the fuck happened back in January. You know what, guys? I'm going to slide this over. Actually, we'll slide that over that way. Just a little bit. There we go. I don't know. I don't care. Today, he went back there with a gun. There's no indication he actually shot anybody. Nobody's dead. And one man's under arrest. He's a motherfucker. No, that was right. God damn it. Right. So anyway, trying to get onto the screen of my own stream. This is awesome. The school was on lockdown for about an hour. Now, The headline says that, and hi, Shadow, by the way, sorry. The headline says, students frustrated. With what? With what? You walked into a place where you can't defend yourself under any circumstances, and then somebody does what they're going to do anyway. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? This was an inevitability, not a consequence of basically anything except the decisions that you and your so-called leaders made. Entirely self-inflicted. Right? There is no such thing as a gun-free zone. It doesn't exist. Somebody with a gun can force their way into the most secure areas on Earth with some sort of exceptions. For those of you familiar with the Gold Vault, U.S. Gold Depository, Fort Knox, okay, that is a building that is literally inside of Fort Knox. It's a, I think, armored training base. They teach soldiers how to drive tanks and shoot the big guns off of them there. That's a pretty secure facility. You get enough guns, you can take out that facility and take over the Gold Vault. It's one of the things we're actually worried about. We were worried about through the Cold War, is that the Russians would strike the Gold Vault or strike for the Gold Vault. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of guns, and hey, Macy, it's a lot of guns in a long time, but you could take the fort and the vault. And for those of you with crazy conspiracy theory beliefs, no, there is gold in that vault, and yes, it would take like a month to clear it all out. So please don't start that shit. At least not in the chat, all right? Like, do it on Discord or something where I don't have to pay attention. At any rate, you chose to make this a gun-free zone, and bad people chose not to. What did you think was fucking going to happen? Tell me, use small words, because I want you to understand the words that you are using. Stop being upset about the consequences of the decisions you made. On that note, what the fuck is going on down in New Mexico? Again, use small words. I want you to understand the words that you are using. Last Friday, apparently, the governor of New Mexico, Grisham, declared that there would be no illegal possession of firearms in, oh God, I wish Macy was my FBI guy. In Albuquerque and Bernalillo County. All right. Flag on the plate. There apparently has been a spate of shootings down in Albuquerque. That's accepted. Evidence untested. Yeah, I should be testing the evidence. I can't. But you know what? Fuck you. I'll take it. All right. Sometime over the last month or so, one of the victims was an 11-year-old boy. You know what? You're right. That's fucking horrible. Apparently, that's not the last one. There was a 14-year-old girl and another child victim. The word killed was never used in any of the stories I read. doesn't mean that's not a possibility. Okay. I get it. That's horrible. The gun ban is going to do exactly what? Especially since the governor herself even said criminals aren't going to obey this. Okay, bitch, you just declared Albuquerque a free fire zone. Congratulations. Well, there's good news on that front. First of all, so far 5 apparently gun rights groups have filed different actions, right? I'm not sure what all of them have done. Everybody keeps saying the lawsuit. Well, okay, that means a lot of different things. It could be an injunction. It could be for monetary damages. It could be for criminal action. I'll get to that later if I remember. It can mean a lot of different things. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It can mean a lot of different things. A short version is nobody, literally nobody says this thing is okay. When David fucking Hogg says this is unconstitutional and you actually can't do that, that's a bad sign. To enforce it, she's going to depend upon the state police exclusively. Like on play. Sheriff's deputies report to the sheriff. At the end of the day, that is the top of their chain of command. City cops report to the chief of police. At the end of the day, he's their highest ranking officer. He answers to the city council or to the mayor, right? Neither one of them necessarily report to the governor. By the way, a sheriff does not report to the mayor. The chief of police does not report to the county board of supervisors. There's some things they can do, but it's at the end of the day, no. Mayor is elected, city council is elected, the sheriff is elected, and the board of supervisors are elected as totally separate actions. That sheriff is an elected official in and of himself. Kind of get a little bit pissy when county boards of supervisors remove a sheriff because they don't like him. No, you have to recall him. Chief of police can be relieved of or fired. I think usually it's at the pleasure of the mayor. And then has to be a new one has to be nominated by the mayor, and the city council has to approve it, usually. The chief of police for Albuquerque says he will not enforce it, and the sheriff said he will not enforce it. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Hey, Bernie. Well, no shit, Sherlock. So the governor has instead decided to end run local law enforcement by tasking the state police, who do answer to the governor and literally can answer directly to the governor themselves. All right, guys, I got to go back over the chat because I might have missed something. Okay. Shadow Fox. Oh, God damn it. Oh, wait a minute. I don't need to do that. Do it. I could act like a professional. This was a confusing statement. Remember, kids, when the military went from citizen militias to nobles and mercenaries, we lost elegantarianism. We never had it. We never really had that. But we'll move on. Until the adoption of democracy, which has never been everybody, ever, anywhere on earth, he with the gold makes the rules. He with the gold pays for the soldiers or mercenaries to enforce the rule. Sorry. It really is that simple. Anyway, I gotta stop playing with the sailing needle. I'm gonna stab myself. Okay. So many people with no authority over him tried to remove Sheriff Joseph Arpaio from his office of Sheriff of Maricopa County, and they all failed for exactly the same reason. What finally got him out of office was him. All right, moving on. State police do answer to the governor, and that's her wedge. She can order them to do things. I am reiterating my call to all law enforcement throughout New Mexico. Do not enforce this order. It's not even a law, it's an order. It was made under the auspices of public health and safety. No. Actually, it wasn't even public health and safety. It was just public health. Okay. It's a health crisis. No, it's not. No, this is not a health crisis. This is a law and order crisis that you helped to create, Governor, by refusing to enforce the law the way it's actually written. We love you, Susan. Why do you guys never write "We love you, Susan" in the chat so I can call back, you cunt? Come on, work with me here. Moving on. All right, so she made an end run around the local law enforcement. She tried to make an end run around the actual law, which is that, no, you can't do this. It violates possibly the state constitution. I don't know New Mexico state constitution. The most I know about New Mexico is stopped overnight in Deming due to engine trouble. I saw that there was like 50,000 acres of land for like $10,000 or some crazy ass number like that. I almost bought it. As I was going through the state, there was a lot of green out there. So there's a lot of water underneath the ground. This is the middle of summer, by the way. So yeah, that's all I know about New Mexico. I know more about Arizona because I've actually been to the corner in Winslow. That's not a health issue there, Macy. Bernie, yes, I do. The sheriff is not in their chain of command. So, right, wrong, or indifferent. The sheriff is not in the state police chain of command. I might have said good morning, folks. It's morning somewhere. I've been having a rough day, okay? I'll get to that some other time. In the meantime, I don't know what the fuck you smoking, bitch. All right? But it's puff, puff, pass. Not suck the bitch down to the nub. Right? To the state police, for God's sakes, please don't enforce this. It is an illegal order. You know it's illegal. You cannot possibly be that oblivious. Right? If you enforce an illegal order, yes, that will come back to you eventually. It might be as it might be as simple as you get a reprimand, right? Or a case you had gets tossed for cause. Hey, the cause is this was illegal to begin with. And the judge is sitting up there saying, what, Trooper Carey, what were you thinking? And you stand there in front of the judge saying, Your Honor, it was an order from the governor. You need to take it up with her. Do you really want to be the one trying that story? Do you really want to be that guy? No, you don't want to be that guy. The governor's press secretary, however, has actually said there will be arrests. An arrest on an illegal order goes from unlawful arrest to kidnapping pretty fucking quick, guys. You know this is true. If you've been on the job for more than 6 months, you know that's true. Back in 1969, a group of 3 men, 2 black and 1 white, I think the white guy was Jewish, were going through Mississippi registering blacks to vote. A county deputy pulled in behind the vehicle and detained them for some hours and then let them go. Okay, great. I think it was 2 months later, the remains of their car was found torched in some swamp somewhere. The last I heard, that deputy was still alive and still in prison on kidnapping charges. It's not that it was never a lawful detention. It was never a lawful arrest. It was a patently illegal arrest to give the KKK time to catch up to these people, the 3 men. And how do I say this without pissing you, we love you, Susan, off? One of the men said something to the effect, they didn't leave me much, but at least I got me a nigger. Yeah. He's actually recorded declaring that he killed one of the 2 black men. He is recorded to have said that. Not reported, but recorded on audio. I don't know how the FBI pulled that off, but they actually had a recording device somewhere where these guys were talking about what they did, with the sheriff's deputy present. I'm not sure if the deputy was fully aware of this conversation or not. That's never been made clear to me. But that man is going to die in prison. Now, granted, Writing a summons to appear for possession of a firearm is not even near the same thing as holding three guys who are otherwise legal long enough for your buddies to catch up to them and murder them. Right? We're talking two very different planes. You don't want to be the one that might be going to prison over whether somebody had a gun or not when they were otherwise allowed to. You don't want to. First of all, you don't want to go to prison in general. And second of all, you don't want the inmates looking at you and saying, "You did what? Are you really this stupid trooper?" Okay. That was the bad news. Here's the good news. There's good news. First of all, apparently on Saturday, literally the day after the order was announced, there was a rally in a park around a gazebo in Albuquerque, at a park near around a gazebo in Albuquerque. I'm not going to say there were millions of people there, right? It looked more like a couple to maybe a few dozen. I did not see any guns. I was not looking that carefully, and I'm not going to go back and look now, because if I do, then I know that guy was breaking the law. This is me being willfully ignorant. This is me lying. I'm okay with that. This is a lie I'm very happy to tell. They were actually pretty calm and quiet, and even to the extent that in the video I saw, there was a counter protester there. He was wearing a mask. The guy up in the gazebo calls out to the man in the mask and says, "Let's invite our masked friend up here." Okay. That is, they're literally inviting a counter protester to come up and speak his piece. Okay, that's a lot of integrity. Whole lot of integrity right there. They had nothing to hide. Be careful using that B word around me, Shadow. I'm not a big fan. You know, actually, I do gotta bring this up. Macy says so many atrocities have been perpetuated by people just following orders. I'll let you all in on a little bit of a secret. If Eisenhower and a lot of his subordinates after World War II could have just lined up all of the, at least the SS guys, and just summarily shot them, he would have done it. He absolutely would have done it. And it did happen in a few of the death camps. All right. It's a recorded fact. What I'm about to tell you did actually happen. When the Americans liberated one of the death camps, I want to say it was Buchenwald. Some of the American soldiers gave their rifles to some of the I can't call them inmates because they didn't do anything illegal. You can't call them detainees because that's not detention. Some of the survivors handed their rifles over to some of the survivors and just let them shoot the guards. Hey, you want to shoot a guard? Here, go ahead. It's an honor to let you use my rifle, my gun. Outside the camp, this is part of the reason it got recorded so distinctly. A fist fight almost broke out between a colonel from one unit and a general from another, because they had conflicting orders about who was going to take over this, take control of this camp. I had no shadow. But anyway, yeah, there was almost a fist fight. Major for, I think, the general kind of broke the fist fight between the colonel and the general up. Made them go to separate corners, but then one of the colonel's subordinate officers mouthed off to the major, and the fist fight almost broke out again between, lesser grade. A flag officer versus a colonel is really bad. A couple of majors exchanging fists, you can cover that up later. Okay, that shit happens. Tensions were high. All right. Meanwhile, there's shootings in the back. Yeah. And Eisenhower did absolutely nothing about any of it. The only reason so many of the death camp guards did I'm sorry, Shadow, I just caught the C word. Give me a second, guys. I need a moment. The other reason so many of the death camp guards eventually did get away with it is there were so many of them to process that the Nuremberg trials just couldn't handle it. There was too many. And then later on, justice finally did catch up to many of them. And when I say justice, I don't mean summary execution or assassination. I mean actually being in front of the Hague. Oh, shit. Somebody help me out with the name. One of the death camp guards that they eventually caught up to down in Argentina and hauled back for trial. Except he didn't go to the Hague. He went to Israel for trial. At any rate, that's the only reason it stopped where it did. Most people don't realize that. Eisenhower would have had them all summarily shot if he could have. And Patton was even Patton was a little bit not normal, okay, already. Oh, and now he's turned loose on these people. He probably would have just marched them all into one building, called in an artillery strike, gotten it over with that much faster. Why make my men suffer by shooting them and having that memory in their mind when I could just march them all into one building, have artillery called in on that spot, and the artillerymen never saw anything. And my men, they didn't pull the trigger. Their conscience is clean. Yeah, Patton was exactly like that. Right. New Mexico state troopers. Do you really want to even go in the same direction on that road that those Nazi SS death camp guards went? No, it won't get you won't get anywhere near as far. But you're going to be on that road. You don't want to go down that road. You don't even want to know how to find that road. Okay. Where am I? 35 minutes. This is probably going to be a short stream, guys. There's more good news. And I'm gonna leave the chat up, but I am gonna read the more good news. And actually, I'm gonna drop the link into the chat because you guys deserve a chance to verify that I'm not lying to you. So anybody that wants to go there and follow along, by all means. I guess mother. Okay. Give me a second, guys. New Mexico Attorney General says he won't defend governor's gun ban in court. AG Raul Torres said the temporary ban issued by Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, fellow Democrat, doesn't pass constitutional muster. Now, I don't know how the Attorney General in New Mexico is selected. I know most of the states, they are elected by the people of the state, totally separately from the governor's office. So make of that what you will. In the latest pushback against New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's gun ban, the state's attorney general said he will not defend the governor's administration against lawsuits challenging the abrupt restriction on firearms. Ads, sorry. Attorney General Raul Torres, in a letter Tuesday, notified Lujan Grisham of his opposition to her 30-day ban. Simply put, I do not believe the emergency order will have any meaningful impact on public safety, but more importantly, I do not believe it passes constitutional muster. Legislators from both sides of the aisle have criticized the order, questioning its constitutionality. All right. Let me clarify this. This is like a district attorney who is told the mayor or the board of supervisors or whoever the elected officials over them is flat out saying, I will not prosecute these murders, these drug laws, these shoplifting laws, these whatever. I won't do it. I will not prosecute these cases. This is almost like a police officer saying, Mr. Mayor, or sheriff's deputy saying, Sheriff, do not bother asking me to arrest people for prostitution. I won't do it. Almost. Not quite, almost. And Bernie asked, good for who? Macy answered for me while I was distracted. Good for him. Okay, Bernie says, what I heard last, the court appealed the governor's ruling. That's absolutely news to me, seeing as how it hasn't even been heard, and a court doesn't appeal, a court rules on an appeal. There are people that want her recalled. That's moving. That is actually moving forward. Every governor, every president, every district attorney, every sheriff, every king has somebody who wants them recalled. In the case of kings, it tends to be more of beheaded than strictly speaking recalled. But at any rate, they all have enemies. But this is, I'm sure that there was a recall talk before that. But this is another level. Like this is bad enough. Even I heard about it, and I don't give a shit. Oh, hi, She Fires. Oh, and I don't give a shit in general about New Mexico. I don't live there. It's not. It's not my problem for now. Oh, excuse me. Um, uh, uh, um, it's not normally my problem. I've heard about it at this point. That tells you how bad it really is. The Attorney General has declared that he will not enforce it. The local cops have declared that they will not enforce it. David Hogg called it unconstitutional. David Hogg is like this personal hobgoblin of my existence. Hobgoblin? Squatch, is that the right word? Hobgoblin? And yet he agrees. That's got to tell you just how bad this decision was. What were you thinking? Well, I can tell you what she was thinking, or at least what some of us have. I think she was thinking. First of all, she's got about 5 years until I am told, she's got about 5 years until she faces re-election. The idea is that if she can make it through this recall effort, she'll get those 5 years. People will forget about how ridiculous this was, how insane the decision was, and just sort of, re-elect her because, well, everything else is going well. They'll forgive because time heals all wounds. We love you, Susan. The second, she's testing the waters. She's looking to see, can I parlay any health order into any action I want, no matter what it is? I as the governor, I can order people to start wearing masks, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I can put some force of law behind it, and maybe they get cited, maybe they don't. At least it'll move somewhere. Yes, it is, Squatch. That is true. Her thinking is, can I parlay anything into a health emergency? Well, she's about to find out. This not only will not pass constitutional muster, but I suspect that at some point one of the judges is going to say, bitch, the fuck you thinking? And unfortunately, it is kind of that bad. All right. This is not a question of my honesty or integrity, but Bernie does say, if David says it's unconstitutional, hell will be freezing over. Thank you for asking, Bernie. I'll be happy to answer for you. David Hogg, New Mexico. Okay. This is the one where I found it too. I will post a link to the tweet in the chat so you guys can read along if you like. Now, give me a second for my page to settle down because there's all these pop-ups and ads and every goddamn other thing. And I don't know who thought changing the HTML code was such a great idea, but you're a fucking asshole and I hate you. I mean, here it is. Nope, that's not the one I was looking for. Do 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 do. He also used exactly the same verbiage as Ted Liu, which, if you know, you really know. But, yeah, it is what it is. Fuck. I really, really need to place my computer. God damn it. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Sorry, guys. I'm not ignoring you. Actually looking for the status tweet itself. Here we go. This is the right one. I will check it out after the stream. Bernie, I guess I'm going to have to be not lazy. There it is. That is the link. What the fuck is going on in New Mexico? Did somebody put Smilex in their water? No, just in her water. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Macy's right. I don't know. All right. I'm going to read this out loud. This is a retweet. CNN Politics, New Mexico governor orders suspension of open and concealed carry of guns in Albuquerque, declaring gun violence and drug abuse a public health emergency after a string of recent deadly shootings. CNN.it/484 Oscar 8 Echo 5. I think that's the link, but I don't give a shit. Neither do you guys. David Hogg 111. If you're reading it, or if you're looking at it now, you can see I'm not full of shit. I support gun safety, but there is no such thing as a state public health emergency exemption in the U.S. Constitution. That was the second line of Ted Liu's tweet on this matter. Fuck. All right. Hold on, guys. Bernie seems to think that something is explosive. So I'm gonna check it out. Oh, okay. This was explosive. Yeah, well, maybe not explosive, but it does look like it's pretty big. This is from Reuters. Drop that in the chat so you guys can follow along if you want. This must be in the last 12 hours. Yeah, it's zero. That would have been 0548. Yeah, this must have been in the last 12 hours at maximum. U.S. judge freezes New Mexico's governor gun ban by Andrew Hay. 0518. Okay, so just slightly over 12 hours ago. Updated 29 minutes ago. Federal judge on Wednesday, that would be today, temporarily blocked a ban on carrying guns in New Mexico's largest city after the order by Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham threw the state into the center of a U.S. gun rights debate. Pause. And they probably didn't want to be there. I wouldn't want to be there if I were them. Like half the people out there, not half the people on my channel, but half the people of the United States, first time they've ever heard of New Mexico was the last 3 days. Or moving on. Oh boy. U.S. District Court Judge David Arias said the governor's 30-day suspension of concealed and open firearm carry in Albuquerque and its surrounding county went against a landmark U.S. Supreme Court ruling that people had a right to carry a gun outside their home for self-defense. That Heller v. D.C. They just want the right to carry their guns. Arias, who was appointed by President Joe Biden, said of plaintiff's request for a temporary restraining order. So that's what they went for, is a restraining order on parts of Lujan Grisham's 8 September emergency public health order. There's some statements in here about the motivations. I don't care. I don't care. Fuck you. I don't care. Oh wow, that's sardonic. I thought I was sardonic, but this is sardonic. Over the past 4 days, I've seen more attention on resolving the crisis of gun violence than I have in the past 4 years, Lujan Grisham said in a statement after Urias's ruling. Wow. I thought I was contemptuous. No. Governor, I bow before you. Your contempt is overwhelming even me. Okay, we're gonna stop there for now. You guys can go see it if you want. It's links there in the chat. At any rate, first of all, it is what it is. It was an illegal order from the get-go. It was to test the waters to see if she could get away with something even more bold. I'm thinking something even more bold. Right? You'll notice, for those of you that have been following for a while, Denislav doesn't have any 30-day exemptions on the people. Doesn't have any 30-day mandates on the people. The only 30-day mandates you're going to find in Denislav are related to background checks. Either you get the background check done in 30 days, Mr. ATF agent, or this guy's going to get his gun. And there's nothing you can do about it later. The only restraints in Denislav are against the government. Fucking get off your ass and do your job. Right? By the way, I colloquially refer to that as the New York clause, because New Jersey clause, because New Jersey has a habit of getting people's concealed carry permits in and then leaving it in the in file, inbox for 5 and 10 and 15 years. Never processing it, so they can never do anything about it. You can't appeal a denial you never got. I want to point something out. Grisham's order does not apply to police officers, does not apply to security guards. I could, at least in theory, with clear conscience, stop and say, you know what, I don't care that much because it's only 30 days and it's one city in the middle of a crisis, which define crisis. And it would never affect me because I worked security for 20 plus years. I carried when I was on the clock very, very often, to varying degrees of legality. I mean, I could theoretically stop there. Fuck you, no. Not only am I not stopping there, I'm leaning into it a whole lot. A violation of the Constitution by definition is treason. Well, no, it's not. Excuse me. Is unconstitutional, obviously. A violation of the Constitution that leads to the death of American citizens is treason. Sorry, guys. I misspoke before, but I'm clarifying now. A violation of the Constitution that leads to the death of American citizens is, by definition, treason. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, bitch. She belongs on trial for treason. Why they're simply going for this injunction is because the guy that has to proceed forward with the treason charges is Joe Biden, and he's not going to do that. Okay. All right, we're at 58 minutes. New Mexico will be the Bridge at Arnhem moment. For those of you that know, you know. Absolutely nothing good is going to come of this decision. Yes, Macy, it can be. Murder is also punishable by death under federal law. All right. I'm going to stop the screen for a moment because I want to talk about something that hurts my soul. You all know I was a coastie. Some of you are aware that I started out on a buoy tender. I'm going to go back to StreamYard. I'm going to switch to cinema layout. Buoy tenders are part of the tradition of the lighthouse service. This is U.S. Coast Guard or lighthouse service. Lightship Barngot was once a lifesaver. It is now rusted, looted, and hard aground. This was one of the pictures that give you a better idea of her circumstances now. Now, I understand the light ships were decommissioned for a reason, but this is not right. Scrap her, restore her, something, but this is absolutely Disgusting. Guys, well, I'm going to pull up a different. As you can see, right alongside of her is literally a sunken two-mast sailor, probably a cabin cruiser. Please, for God's sakes, do something. This is just so heartbreakingly wrong. Right? That's just wrong. I don't know how else to say it. Coast Guard, go down and just take her as a danger to navigation. All right. And haul her off to a breaking yard if you have to. There's like 4 other light ships. There's at least 2 other light ships that are historic museum ships. Saving this one would be nice. It's not going to happen now. For God's sakes, please do something about this. This is killing me. All right. I'm going to stop that screen. I'm going to put the chat back up. Oh, no, not window, not window. I am going to switch over to Stream 2 formats, and then I'm going to pop this out, show this. Macy says, was the sailboat purposely sunk there to keep her where she is? Probably not. I've never heard of that method before. It's plausible, but I've never heard of that being done before. Hi, Rob. How you doing? You missed everything that was fun, including my little spurg out about New Mexico. Right? Seriously, you missed some grade A comedy there, bud. And then me being a little nostalgic about a light ship. All right. If anybody has any questions, please ask. All right. And the section of Denislav we're going to be covering today is elective exemptions. Because this is a short section, unlike the other 2, I'm only going to berate about it for today. Stop screen, present, share screen, window, boy. Oh boy. It would help if I had the file open already. That would definitely help. Okay. There we go. All right. So this is Act 5C, elective exemptions, conscientious objector. Any person who applies for exemption as a conscientious objector having established probable likelihood based on third-party sworn affidavit may receive an exemption, personal exemption. Any person that, for reasons not listed above, may be exempt upon order of a competent jurist of their abode jurisdiction upon payment of a $300 per month fee. Such exemptions are total without exception. Okay. Next line is, any person exempt under these sections are totally exempt and may not carry under any weapon under any circumstances. That needs to be go back. I need to go back and rewrite that. First of all, because and my not carry, that was corrected just before I went live. But more importantly, conscientious objector. Actually, that needs to be fixed. I've met many a conscientious objector cannot kill. Don't fucking try them. They will spray you harder than I will. All right. And I fucking sprayed a little old lady halfway across the street once. All right. Conscientious objector, I would never ask you to specifically violate your conscience. If you believe God said, thou shalt not kill, and that's it, grace of God, go. Yeah, the grace of God, go, and don't start sinning now just because Carrie said you're good to go. But it does require a third party sworn affidavit. That means whoever signed that affidavit is declaring under penalty of perjury that, yes, I sat down and I had this very long discussion with this person. And I believe based on our discussions, he, she, it, they, rainbow flag shit, does in fact have a conscientious objection. Grace God, go. Don't start sitting down. That sworn affidavit does need to clarify in some cases. Can they say, are they okay with pepper spray but not guns? Are they okay with brass knuckles but not pepper spray? Are they okay with pepper spray but not brass knuckles? Are they okay with pepper ball guns but not a gun, not a real gun? That needs to be worked out. What exactly is their objection? And the judge can then say, okay, you know what? You have an objection to the use of guns, but you were okay with pepper spray. I'm telling you, if a cop stops you and you don't have pepper spray on you, I don't care how drunk you are. I better see you in my courtroom the next morning. The judge can do that. I'm okay with that. Personal exemption. Any person not reasons not listed above may be exempt by order of competent jurist. Come back to that in a moment. Of their abode and upon payment of a $300 per month fee. All right. There are some people that say that I should make personal exemption free. No. Then anybody could just walk into the courtroom and say, Your Honor, I have a personal exemption. I just don't want to do it. I have never found any law where you have to do X, Y, or Z act, and you can literally pay to just not do it. Show me where you can just pay a fee to not wear a seatbelt, or a fee to not wear a motorcycle helmet, or a fee to do a whole lot of other shit. That $300 per month fee was literally set by roughly half of the average of any given handgun, right, per month. At the end of a year, you could have bought 6 handguns. This is literally to discourage you from doing this. And if you have $300 per month, well, okay, fine. Great, good for you. I don't even know if there's really anything else to ask here. Like, what kind of questions could you possibly have? What do you call a defenseless carry? A trap. Okay. That was terrible. Leave comedy to the bears, Shadow. $5 to anybody that gets they can tell me what that's from. Three, two, one. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you, Macy. That was bad. 6 handguns. What peasant leaves a house out at least 10 handguns? I'll let you all in on a little secret. I've never left the house with more than one. Ever. Hey, hi, Destruction Industries. Hail King Arthur. It, uh, DI is a little bit of an interesting character, guys. Just roll with it. All right. What kind of peasant leaves the house without at least 10 handguns? Like, yeah, I prefer DI, but okay. And an axe. Actually, an axe qualifies just like so barely. If I was the judge and DI were to appear before me with an axe, still on her belt, by the way, I would say no. No, 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 no. All right. Ironically enough, axe handle, great. Axe, no. Oh, okay, guys. We're going to give Shadow a pass here. It was a rich joke. Like, what kind of peasant doesn't own at least 3 yachts? You don't want to start me up about uh, people owning boats. People, you just don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. All right. I'm going to go into the section on get home bags. Excuse me. These are fingerless, long sleeve gloves. Right. This particular model is, I guess, is sold by a company under UV protection. And there's a link in the community tab. I'm just saying if you want to follow up on that. But anyway, when I was a security guard, I would have beat you for these. At night, you're walking around, you got your gloves on, you got your jacket on, maybe even have your sweatshirt on underneath your uniform shirt or your jacket because you're just fucking lazy like I was. Lazy shitbag like I was. But you still got that wind crawling up your arm, the sleeve of your arm, sleeve of your sweatshirt, and your gloves never ever overlap your jacket, or at least they don't stay there. This would have kept that draft from crawling at least as far up my arms. Oh my God. So it will cover the area between your knuckles and your elbows very, very well to create an overlap area. And that's what good fingerless gloves are, Macy. And if you don't know how else to get them, you can contact Destruction Industries. And for $200, I'm sure she'll be willing to knit some for you. These were sold as protection from sun, right? Their intention is that you would wear these to protect your protect you against the sun, so you don't get sunburn and eventually melanoma. Okay, that's great. I understand. But it's material and it's covering your arm. It protects you against anything that can get in the way of. I have never tried these in the rain. I don't know how they'll hold up in rain. I can already tell you that these would have been so nice, especially winter of 2019, 2020, when I was making rounds in the middle of 20-mile-an-hour gusts. Macy points out, my fingers freeze very quickly. I need real gloves. You put the real glove over these, bud. Put real gloves over these so that they protect each other and not they overlap each other to protect you. All right. These are, by the way, not insulated. There's another model that's produced by John Townsend and Son that are insulated. They are fingerless. They are nearly up to the elbow. And not only would I have fought you for those, I would have just fucking stole them. I would have just stole those gloves and used them anyways. And kissed my ass. And of course, I would have worn real gloves over them. These always water. You know, take water with you everywhere you go anyway. Right? I just replaced my water bottle for work last Monday because the old one was starting to leak. Oh, and it's not the boot camp one I keep handy for streams. It was like a 1.2 liter water bottle. It was starting to leak, so I got a 1.5 liter water bottle and a pouch to carry it in and go on my belt. It's beautiful. I love it. I just toss the pouch into the locker, leave the water bottle at my station. All right. We are currently at an hour and basically 15 minutes. Somebody asked a question on topic question. I see you out there, DM. Even if you're not here right now, you're going to be in replay. DM is always DM boss is fond of asking me the airspeed of an unladen swallow. For that matter, so is Squatch. Oh, on the subject of water, a couple of my coworkers have turned me on to water flavorings, whatever. They're things eyedropper looking things. You drop it in. You drop some into your water, and it tastes like lemonade. Gives it a lemon flavor, and I thought that was pretty cool. My real first name, Destruction Industries. Oh my god. My quest is to save humanity. My name is Jay, and fuck you and your airspeed. All right. Besides, is it European or African? On topic. On topic. On topic. By the way, apparently this is a mystery. My real first name is Jay. It's even in the email signature. Don't poison your water. Okay, Rob says, sounds like a science experiment. Don't poison your water. No, this is commercially available. So it's as safe as anything else out there? I do know who the Bridge Keeper is. I did complete Fallout 2. Thank you very much. Um, and, okay. I'm going to throw this one out there. Um, to the best of my knowledge and belief, this product does not yet exist. My first gun was a Smith & Wesson 4006. I got it because California Highway Patrol had just adopted the 4006. Excuse me, like 2 or 3 months, not years, not excuse me, not the year before, but that earlier that year had just adopted the uh, 4006 as their standardized sidearm. Yeah. Since then, the LE model has gone through some uh, uh, changes. They put a Picatinny rail on the bottom and a couple of changes, a couple other changes. I had the original style. It was in 40 cal, and 40 cal was becoming that big thing, and it's still that big thing, even though 9mm bounced back a little bit, and 40 cals are not making the kinds of changes that 9mm made. But anyway, um, there is no 9mm drop-in barrel for the 406 or the 4013, which is what my brother insisted on getting. Oh, my younger brother, as opposed to my older brother, the one who passed away a few years ago, excuse me, who just refused to take a gun. Like, Dad's a little bit mad. It's very, very sad his son died, but he's also a little bit mad because, like, I'm giving you a free gun, you dumb shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm just kind of curious why that 9mm drop-in barrel for the 4006 doesn't exist. Why not? Just saying. Um, um, Rob, first of all, that's not even messing with me. All right. But it kind of is because what are you talking about? Sure, they say it's fine. Just wait 10 years for the class action lawsuit to start. Who says it's fine and why am I going to be sued? Um, and on a related note, I think this is Rob saying I'm kind of crazy. Well, just no, not kind of. I'm like really fucked up in the head. Okay, Ozzy is late and gay. That's okay, so am I. New Mexico meant to make gun grabbers look like saying middle of the road types. Hey, I can't tell you he's wrong. Okay. I'm caught up to you now, Rob. I got it. Yeah. I know where he's going with that now. He, um, well, if I ever grow a third testicle, I guess I'll sue. All right, folks, we are at basically an hour and a half. Yeah. Rob's convinced that water flavor is going to give me cancer. How do I put this politely? Cancer needs an immunization from me. I see, Ozzy. It is what it is. Ozzy, everybody's latent gay here. Don't worry about it. You're not special. I'm latent gay. I have never read Fight Club. I watched it in theaters. You know what? I'm going to open up to y'all a little bit. When COVID was first coming down, of course, I was scared. This thing is going to kill half of humanity, right? Right? It's going to kill us all. Maybe. I didn't know. The day that first person was brought out of the hospital, having survived, February, March. I want to say it was March or April. I knew that I would survive this. I have just a touch of reactive detachment disorder. I'm like 99% over it, but I have that tiny little bit of RDD because I spent the first 6 months of my life in an incubator. That is an absolutely critical time for RDD. And I can't get that time back. My parents cannot get that time back. I spent those first 6 months in an incubator because mom came in on the third or fourth day of my life, telling doctors something is very, very wrong with my child. And the doctors looked at her and said, "This is a new mother. She's just overreacting. Every new mother goes through this period. Well, let's just hold the baby overnight to see if he's up. Just calm her nerves." Well, I was not all right. 3 days later, I'm in an incubator with meningitis. I should not have survived at all. I got a scar up here, and sometimes when I'm doing this shit, some of you notice it. That is where they had to sew an IV into my head because being, less than 6 months old, I ripped it out of my head. I ripped the first one out, and then I ripped the second one out, the one they'd sewed in. That's the scar. And then they strapped my hands down so that I couldn't rip them out anymore. My dad says that I came out of that incubator so strong that it was not safe to give me 2 fingers because I could break them. I could actually break your hand. Well, I could break your fingers just by squeezing down on your fingers. Now, for those of you that think this is a pity party, fuck your pity party. I know what I've been through. I don't remember it, but I know what I've been through. I know what I'm not fucking scared of at all. There's literally only one disease in the entire universe that I know of that I'm respectful of. I'm not scared anymore. I am respectful of HIV. I won't get in. I'm gonna be respectful of HIV, not go out and try to get it like I did COVID. May or June. Not exactly sure when I got it. I know actually the day I felt the symptoms, but I don't know which day I got I picked it up. Sounds like a Chuck Norris story. I gotta make sure I didn't miss anything. Don't talk about it, Rob. I know. What did it do to deserve it? Oh my God, Ozzy. California's sound of my voice causes cancer. It does. Folks, that's not a joke. He's serious. It's a known carcinogen. I did not know that was a book. Yeah. Still. Okay. So, Shadow. Now you know what down with the sickness really means. Well, we're not going to get into a big philosophical discussion about COVID or not COVID. What I know is when I came down with it the first time, I was not afraid. When I came down with it the second time, I was, because motherfucker, no, I wasn't afraid. I was mad because motherfucker, I already had this shit. And ironically enough, for those of you that saw that live stream, late August, I think it was 2022, right? And then you saw I didn't do the next two streams, the streams next to. You actually saw me live coming down. I remember I was feeling good when I started the stream, and by the end of the stream, I was just felt like crap. Just like I'd been hit by something. And I remember I called up Papa Carey and he asked me to take the test. And, oh, come on, Dad. You know I already had it. Well, son of a bitch, I was sick again. So yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm gonna get it again someday, I'm sure. This time I'm not gonna do the antibiotics or any of the drugs because I think that's what made it worse the second time around. Live and learn. Yeah, okay, Rob, your time's coming. By the way, Rob, we do agree about one thing. You guys eat a salad every fucking once in a while. I so miss salad bars. I miss my old salad bars. Now, I don't even mean it necessarily has to be casino or hometown buffet level. Just a decent salad bar would be nice. Sorry, Ozzy, I gotta shift to a different viewpoint because okay, I know what that is now. No, not just cucumbers, Ozzy, please. Like, chop them up, put them in with some some lettuce and tomatoes. You know, the whole 9 yards. Don't do just cucumber because that sounds gross. Not picky about the dressing, but yeah, not just one by itself. That doesn't sound good. All right, guys. We're at an hour and a half. Ozzy hates tomatoes. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Get your get home bag ready. All right, if you haven't already, for God's sakes. First of all, I've been harping about it for 3 years. What the hell are you waiting for? All right. You can pick up one of those Ready America bags, and that's a pretty good start. It's a reasonably good start. Get your get home bag ready, because the bare minimum, if another Chaz starts, I need you to get home long enough to regret being around everything else bad in the universe. All right, Ozzy, I will send you a link on Discord. So get your get home bag ready. And keep calm and mandatory carry on. We love you, Susan, you cunt.